Hi, everyone, and welcome back to 5 Minute English Practice. Today is a little different because I'm not in the studio. I'm sitting in a cozy cafe, having a relaxed coffee date with my friend Lisa. We decided to take a moment to talk about the past year, the good parts, the difficult moments, and everything in between. It's not a formal interview, and there are no difficult words. Just a natural conversation between two friends, sharing real experiences from real life. So if you want to practice everyday English and enjoy a calm, honest conversation, sit back, relax, and let's listen. I'm really glad we finally made time to meet like this, because honestly, this year felt so busy that I barely had a chance to stop and really think about everything that happened.
I feel the same way. Sitting here now, with no rush and no schedule, makes me realize how full this year actually was, even though at times it felt like nothing was moving.
Exactly. When I look back, one thing I'm genuinely proud of is that I learned several new skills, not because I had to, but because I wanted to grow and challenge myself in a way I hadn't done before.
That's interesting because I had a similar experience. I didn't just focus on work related skills, but also learned things that helped me understand myself better, like how to manage stress and how to notice when I was pushing myself too hard.
That kind of learning is sometimes more valuable than technical skills, even though it's harder to measure.
Absolutely. Another big change for me was that I finally allowed myself to spend more time on myself without feeling guilty, which is something I struggled with for years.
I relate to that so much. I used to think that if I wasn't being productive, then I was wasting time. But this year really taught me that rest is not the opposite of productivity.
Yes. And once I started taking proper breaks, I noticed that I had more energy and focus when I actually needed to work.
Something else that surprised me this year was how many new people I met. I didn't expect to make new friends, especially as an adult, but it happened naturally through small moments and simple conversations.
Same here. Some of those friendships started very casually, but they ended up becoming really meaningful, especially during times when I felt stressed or uncertain.
Those connections really made a difference, especially on days when everything felt heavy.
Speaking of heavy days, there were definitely moments this year when I felt extremely stressed and honestly considered giving up on certain goals.
I know exactly what you mean. There were days when I woke up feeling unmotivated, tired, and unsure if I had the energy to keep going.
On those days, I realized that forcing myself only made things worse. So instead, I tried to change my environment completely.
That's what I did too. Whenever I felt stuck or drained, I'd go outside, plan a picnic, take a short trip, or just spend time walking without thinking about work.
It's interesting how doing something simple like that can completely reset your mood and energy.
Yeah, and it helped me understand that taking a break doesn't mean quitting. It just means giving yourself time to recharge.
Exactly. Looking back now, I think those low energy moments actually taught me how to be kinder and more patient with myself.
I feel the same way. At the time, it felt like I wasn't making any progress, but now I can see that growth was happening quietly in the background.
Sometimes progress only makes sense when you look back at it later.
Very true. And even though the year had plenty of challenges, I feel like I came out of it with a clearer understanding of what I need and what really matters to me.
Me too. This year wasn't perfect and it wasn't easy, but it was meaningful in a way I really appreciate.
I think that's the best kind of year to have.
Yeah, one that teaches you something instead of just passing by.
All right. After all this deep talk, I think we deserve another coffee.
Definitely. Let's enjoy this moment a little longer.
And that brings us to the end of today's conversation. Talking about your year doesn't have to be perfect or impressive. Sometimes just noticing how much you've learned, how many challenges you've survived, and how far you've come is already enough. If you ever want to practice English, try talking about your own year. Your small achievements, your difficult days, and the moments that helped you recharge. Simple, honest English is always the best place to start. Thank you so much for listening to 5 Minute English Practice. I'll see you in the next episode.